So here we are, Game 1, University of North America versus Howard Community College.
Yeah, looking forward to this one. Should be, I mean, I don't know how many times I'm going to say it, but it should be pretty solid, pretty close. I believe looking at it, if I can find the schedule somewhere here. Okay, there we go. We're slowly making my way through the Battlefy, but um, it will be a good matchup here as we are getting loaded on in and started at long last with I believe it is, if I can find logs and trees, then I'll know who is on what team. But I'm
We have
pretty sure.
University of North America on the left, on blue side, and
Okay,
Howard
there we go.
Community College on orange side. Which,
Cool.
according to my overlay at least, is University of North America Dragons versus Howard Community College Dragons. We got some dragon on dragon competition here.
Yeah.
So now you got to wonder who's the bigger dragon? Who's got more heat in that flame breath? You know, who can fly higher here in this game of Rocket League?
Yeah, I am looking forward to getting to see who will be continuing on through the winner's bracket after this one, because this is going to be really nice to watch. Now, already on the side of things, I believe we've gotten confirmation from someone on the side of, uh, from one of the teammates, excuse me, on the side of HCC, that Noble up here is controlling the airspace, and that it is in fact Noble, pronounced Noble rather. So, um, we'll get to see Noble and the rest of HCC in action going out and at it right now. As already a couple of aerial plays working out all right for HCC, but not finding the net just yet.
HCC is definitely up in scoring position here. That shot, though, goes a little sideways, going to clear out. Instead, Noble able to send it back in. UoNA really needs to break this offense. They've been able to save the goals, but they just cannot seem to get it out of their pockets here. This blue corner has seen so much action in the first 2 minutes. A near miss, but the ball is going to crossbar there. Looks like HCC is going to take another shot, wide open, but a little too much spice on that from Arrow. Not quite going to make the goal, but Logs and Trees trying to at least stay in possession, keep this ball in scoring position. And man, this offense is just relentless.
Yeah, continuous pressure here as it seems like University of North America cannot get out of their goal at all. So we'll get to see as Noble gets another demo on the bat. At least the ball is controlled by UoNA, so there's no goal opportunity, but a nice demo is denied by Kev off the respawn yet again. No goal allowed coming on up. And we're already 3 minutes deep into this one, sitting at 0-0. And between the two games we've gotten to spectate so far, these are huge defensive bouts coming up.
And Howard Community College right now is playing these walls so well. There have been so many clears that have come out from the side of UoNA Dragon to try to get out of their side of the field that have gone so high. But HCC has been playing the walls and sending those high shots right back. And by virtue of that continued pressure over 3 solid minutes, finally, a gap in the defenses, and Noble threads that needle right up the center for score 1.
Yeah, another long shot from Noble enabled that one. The forced long defense from Discreet. He had to come all the way from midfield, full boost over to the net and almost overshoot it just to get a shot at getting through there and defending that ball.
Look at Discreet go. Discreet gets bumped and is getting shot about 400 miles an hour backwards and still has the presence of mind to maneuver his car in the way of the ball to deflect some of that oncoming pressure. And look at the result. Just that little bit of, just a little wrench in the works of the Howard CC offense there, giving UoNA Dragons a chance to get that goal and even the score count up here 1-1 after 3 minutes. 3 minutes of nonstop pressure and being a point down. UoNA evens it right back up in the next 30 seconds or so.
Yeah, huge comeback from the side of UoNA. Very solid resilience from them off the back of this continued pressure from HCC. Nice bounce over the top there by Kev to start to get clearing from some of this pressure, but the continued wall play from HCC is dominant as Logs is going to almost put it in, but not enough. Kev just able to scrape by that slow dribbler into the goal. And now with under a minute left, it's still 1-1 here. And it's just both sides trying to find some presence and some control in this matchup.
You know, every muscle in Kev's arm was holding that boost key down to get to that ball in time to make that. That's one of those, you were gripping the controller white-knuckled the whole way. Please, please, I need to get there in time. But get there in time, he does. That said, Howard Community College still putting up so much pressure here in these back 20 seconds. They do not want to go to overtime. They just want this game won and go on.
Yeah, continuing to pressure on in and create some presence for themselves. But the side of UoNA is just not allowing it. Stout defense in front of the net as in comes another high-flying defender, this time for HCC. They're going to try and just put this one on the ground if they can. Send us into another first game OT, also at 1-1. And so far, this has been very close and very tight.
Well, UoNA trying to take this one right off the kickoff in overtime. That was a nice setup off the kickoff, just to try to take that early goal and get out of the situation quick. But Howard Community College able to defend, and we're going to have ourselves a protracted battle here. Logs and Trees having to throw it in reverse to make that save.
Yeah, I'm glad you went with that wording. There's some other wording you could have gone with that I did not want to hear. I did not want to hear you say that Logs and Trees is throwing it back or something. But in comes Arrow, doing what Arrow does best, just like the namesake, ending OT with an air ball shot from the midfield. And a nicely positioned one off the top of Kev is going to send game one the way of HCC here.
Howard Community College is only throwing it forward here in this game one. What a shot to finish it off, too. Look at that. Man, I'm so jealous. Look at that ping, by the way. Everyone in the lobby, single-digit ping. Oh,
I love that.
it's so good. I mean, I'm privileged enough to get like 15 at home. You know, I'm still, I got no room to complain, but single-digit ping, that's where it's at. But man, what a game one. Now here's the question though, right? So it's University of North America Dragon versus Howard CC Dragons, right?
Mm-hmm.
This game's for pink slips, right? Like
Yeah.
whoever wins keeps the name. Like you can't be the second best team called the Dragons, right?
Yeah.
Like it's one of those, I don't know.
Yeah. There's it's really hard to have just like both, obviously when you're facing each other, like you're saying, it's you both can't be the Dragons if one of you loses. Someone's
Here
got to
everyone is.
someone loses the namesake, I guess. So
Here everyone is trying to have a nice polite Rocket League tournament. And I'm over here stirring the pot, trying to cause trouble. Who hired this person? Who hired this gamer to commentate? Get them out of here. All right, we got game two. Howard CC with the 1-point lead after a little bit of overtime play. Let's see how the rest of the set plays out. It is UoNA taking control of the ball early on here, but Howard Community College already striking back. Look at Logs and Trees throwing that just a little bit further up off that backboard just to keep them from finding a decent clear. Arrow taking his time, once a beat, trying to dribble it in, but it's called out. The pressure, though, still here. The rotations, here's something I want to point out, too. Your rotations have to be so disciplined to keep up this level of offensive pressure.
yeah.
One person cuts rotation at the wrong time, and you can no longer maintain this tempo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is discipline, pure and simple. Because I don't know if I play a lot of Rocket League. I'm sure a lot of you at home play a lot of Rocket League. I think we've all been there. We've all been tempted to cut that rotation, and we've all probably given into that temptation 30 or 40 times a night. I don't think I've seen anyone on Howard Community College give into that temptation once, unless it was very, very warranted.
Yeah, I definitely know from my little amount playing that I definitely did it a lot. I did cut a lot of rotations and really give into it. And as a result, it always punished me either through missed opportunity or giving up goals. So I can definitely agree that, HCC is showing really good control and restraint here on these movements and getting their pressure. And even if someone does mess up a little bit, someone else is there to secure it, but not this time around. UoNA will strike first with an excellent self dribble from Discreet all the way up the middle, just uncontested entirely.
And that's a heartbreaker moment if you're Logs and Trees, because you're downfield, you're in position, you know they're going to lob it as high as they can. Whoa, give me a minute here, Discreet, hold on. That's another shot right off the kickoff. Logs and Trees, and again, Logs and Trees, another heartbreaker, just not able to be there in time. On the goal before that, Logs and Trees was in position, ready to make the save, saw the dribble was coming, but you knew that Discreet was going to take that dribble and bounce that as high as he could and squeeze it right out of the crossbar. Logs and Trees is only sitting on 12 boosts, just didn't really have that height in him, and there was no one else in position to make that save. Man, that's twice in a row. That's emotional strain. Logs and Trees might be taking a minute to work out the mental game after that. Or not, or we could just see an immediate rebuttal from Howard Community College.
Wow. 2-1 goes the scoreline now as Noble with a nice little... I like the little water drop sound effect because that's exactly the hit that Noble just put on that one. Really just giving it the little nudge, the little tap just off the top bar and sending that one on in. So nice shot there to start evening things on up. And we've got a good game on our hands here with just 3 minutes left to go. Not even at the halfway point, and we're already at the scoreline from last game's OT in 7 minutes of play. So really picking up the pace with this one and speeding things up. And it's nice to see that both teams are finding opportunities past one another.
Yeah, something we have definitely seen here in this game too is that UoNA has been not getting locked down in their goal zone nearly as much this game. They have definitely had a much more time to take control of the ball, set up shots. But Howard Community College is slowly starting to claw back into that position. And as we saw from that game one, once they are in scoring position, man, they stick around. They stick around for a couple of shots. And in this case, didn't even have to stick around for a couple of shots. A little bit of overcommitment and a fairly slow lob right across the ground from Arrow. Just no response available from UoNA.
Yeah, great job here from the side of from HCC, continuing the pressure and really just playing their game at this point. Aggressive defense as well from the side of HCC to keep things rolling in their favor, hopefully. As now Arrow going for another aerial play, but almost a tight contest in front of HCC's goal does go in their favor, not giving up another goal here as they're continuing their stout defense.
Yeah, and you can see that once they're in scoring position, man, the variance in the ball's position goes down a whole lot, man. You go from seeing it all over the field to just in the blue corner and nowhere else. And just by virtue of having the ball down the field for that long and being able to maintain that position, eventually the defense slips up and Noble is able to squeak in just that little bit of a tap off the wall to direct into the goal.
Yeah, so far it's really solid in this last 2 minutes of play, to say the least, from Howard, and they're really just shutting out UoNA entirely so far, really trying to avenge this one-loss blemish on the season here, and really just working things back in their favor if they can, and rather keep things in their favor if they can, as UoNA is trying to put back from this 1-goal deficit, trying to head up to a second straight OT, but to avoid going down 2-0 here in this series.
Yeah, they've got about 30 seconds to even that back up, but it's going to have to be 2 scores from here because Arrow, once
Oh.
again, finding a breakaway. And we saw this earlier with Arrow as well, I believe. Took a shot that there wasn't a whole lot of speed on that,
Hmm.
but it was exactly in a position that UoNA was just not prepared to defend. And there was no one in position on UoNA's side. I think there's maybe a little bit of overcommitment on the offense on UoNA's side being made here to try to alleviate or replicate the pressure that Howard Community College is pulling off. But the thing with that is you overstep just that little bit, and even a slow break through your defenses can result in a goal.
Yeah, pretty tough stuff to see if you're a UONA fan. 2 goals in 10 seconds is what they need to make up here. And it almost was 3 if Logs had put that one into the back of the net again. Great save game so far from the side of UONA, but clearly it's not enough as he does, in fact, put in
Oh,
a 5th just at the end, I think. I don't know if it counted or not before it hit the goal, but
it
still.
did not. But
Okay.
whoever's keeping track of the stats, just add a +1 because that was in. That
Yeah.
was in.
Give Logs the goal, get him off the goose egg, have everyone score for HCC on that one. But I mean, just dominance. Arrow and Noble both out shooting together all of UNA. Add on to that an extra 4 shots from Logs and Trees. And it's just an unrelenting onslaught of offense here from the side of Howard, really avenging this regular season blemish here as they're trying to go up 3-0 and blank UONA here. They're up 2-0 already.
Yeah, and with this being a match where the teams are so close in the seeding too, a 3-0 would send a strong message to the rest of the bracket for the rest of the night.
Hmm. Yeah, really agree. If you can come into, especially just, I know we tout
Oh,
these games really highly as a huge save comes in from Arrow through the net again. Really clutch one there. I
the
know we
flick
keep
reset from
talking.
Sicky to make that shot too was
Yeah,
so clean.
yeah. I know we keep talking big on these games and how they're such tight contests, but I mean, to continue your point, like you said, to be able to come into a game between an 8-1 team and a 7-2 team, and to 3-0, that's just at this level, that's really scary to see if you're coming in against HCC. So they're looking definitely to continue this speed as Arrow is being a nuisance to Discreet, halting any play from him, keeping both of them out of commission with that one. And now in comes Logs for a little bit of action, not able to get it again. So many close calls in this matchup so far, but still a lot of just short numbers of goals.
Yeah, the HEC is definitely trying to walk away with a 3-0 here, and they are dialing up the offense even more. Logs and Trees with the catch right there in front of the goal, setting it up for Noble. Arrow taking the second shot. Will Logs and Trees try to go for the third? Yes, sir, but Discreet in position to make the save. But even with that, I mean, all 3 players took a shot there, and with fantastic rotations, all 3 players are already in position to take another shot.
Yeah, they are just continuing to steamroll, and even though the goal count isn't in their favor, it's still 0-0 2 minutes in. It's just
Oh,
dominance
Discreet.
from HCC. Discreet trying a little bit extra as Noble's gonna miss that aerial and go tumbling like a comic character, like just got thrown away. But nice shot from Kev. Discreet pulled back. I was wondering why he didn't go for it, and that is exactly why. Kev had the lineup, had the rotation, and again, University of North America is going to start off in the lead here, 1-0 with just a little over half the match or half the game remaining.
Yeah, and if you looked at the situation on the field through all of the last 2.5 minutes, you would be thinking this is HCC's game already, even with no points on the board. But UNA manages to find one opportunity, one break, and runs away with a point. That said, HCC striking right back to even the game up. So that any celebration or any sigh of relief that may have come from that 1-point lead immediately snatched away.
Yeah, it is definitely a tough one here. It feels like in both these games that UoNA has tried to start things off early, with a goal and get their lead going. That lead is quickly tied up by HCC, and it seems like HCC is just always has their number and comes back with quite the vengeance whenever they get scored on. So nice airball play from Discreet is not going to amount to anything from a good defensive play from the side of HCC. And right back to it. Logs and Trees is starting things off on the offensive. Fantastic wall play. We keep praising it all game, but there's reason we do. Fantastic wall play from the side of HCC as they're able to just work so fantastically off of it.
Yeah, and so much pressure as a result. I mean, even now, with the score being even, UoNA took the first score of this game, but they're having trouble maintaining possession of the ball and being set up for shots. It seems like a lot of UoNA's play has to be on the defense, but a good pinch off the defense out of the air, lobbing it right back down to HCC side. Noble trying to return it off the wall, but it's not going to happen. It's in a orange side pocket now. Discreet going to try to punch it through, but not quite enough force. Kev kills it on the wall, but Logs and Trees sending it right back out. This is UoNA's chance to make the clear. Kevs goes wide for the big boost. Going to send it right down towards goal on the orange side. Discreet has the catch off the save. It is up. Logs and Trees sending it clear of the goal. They're trying. UoNA is stepping up the pressure here. They want this goal. They do not want to have to go to overtime with the set on the line, but that might just be where it goes if HCC keeps this up.
Yeah, a lot of pressure here as we're eyeballing another overtime. 30 seconds to go. And the thing is, again, I mean, the offensive pressure generated by HCC here is not really something that can be numerically calculated, as they're going to continue it with a demo. Discreet gets a nice spawn off right under the ball to disrupt the Logs and Trees' flow. Yet again, as we're really pushing towards OT here. But a nice shot from Suki goes off the sidebar. A save from Noble could be what saves this game from going away. Another shot as Noble gets up in the air. And it actually landed on the ground. Almost another shot from Suki. Could have gone past Noble there, but it doesn't work out as the ball barely just taps the ground, and we're back into OT.
There goes, but by the grace of overtime, UoNA taking a game in this set, but with overtime, the clock being at 0, that ball hits the ground, and it is overtime, regardless of whether it would have gone in or not. And that is, boy, that's tough to deal with. But UoNA not letting it get to him. Discreet already sent a shot right down onto the post. HCC is on notice. This set is not necessarily over. UoNA wants to stay in this game here.
Yeah, it almost feels like the exact opposite compared to how the normal or the regular time went, because HCC started on the defensive for so long there for the first 45 seconds or so, and it's just full UoNA pressure coming on in. But more great aerial play, denying the goalie of Discreet, but the second save from Suki came on in despite that fantastic pressure from HCC. Or rather, sorry, I keep saying Suki. It's Siki. I greatly apologize for that. Wow. But still, I mean, just great swinging back and forth.
Oh, it's coming in slow. Not quite there with the follow-up. Discreet, they're going to have possession of the ball, taking it way down the field. This might be a fatal mistake here for HCC. The save is there. The demo is out. Discreet's going to be sent back to the respawn screen there for just a moment. Arrow taking control of the ball, trying to find that flip reset, but no luck. Siki off the wall, sending it right back. Oh, this is HCC's moment here. Kev is going to have to really play through this offense.
Yeah, looking to try and get something generated as Discreet and Siki carried too far over as Discreet, as now the ball goes back into HCC's control. at least Siki is going to be able to create some more defensive pressure, alleviate the defense here. But again, I mean, 2 minutes, almost 2.5 here. But there it goes, discreet from midfield. A great shot from Kev, or a great pass from Kev coming on in. And we've got a bit of a series now. It won't be a 3-0 this time around.
I tell you what, Siki made such an incredible clear to set that situation up. Drove right down the field, sent HCC's clear right back to Kev over in the corner, who passed it out for Discreet to make the follow-up. I mean, just really carried that last play there and was able to pull UoNA through to a game win. So this set is not by any means over. UoNA still in it, still clawing onto their winner's bracket life here. But the set's on the line every game from here till somebody wins. So long way to go.
Yeah, another 5 minutes on the board. Game 4 for us now is we've basically tallied up already 4 games of casting between the extra minutes of OT that we've had between both game 1 and 3. But still, I mean, that's just showing how defensively strong these teams are to tally up almost 5 minutes of overtime. But defense be damned, Logs and Trees puts another in the net within 20 seconds this time around. Really going to go for a goal on the stat card this time instead of making us give him a stat.
Wow, just one breakaway play. Sets it up off the wall, redirects right back in. Logs and Trees pulls the 1-point lead here for HCC, not even a minute into game 4.
Yeah, huge one there for HCC to start this one off with, especially just coming back with a vengeance after that game 3 loss.
Yeah, and I feel like we're seeing a little bit of the offense game here being stepped up on UoNA's side as well. HCC having to play a little bit more measured, having to play the defense, forcing the jump out there to not get demoed.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that statement too. It feels like since OT, it's just been so heavily in favor of the offense from UoNA. Even then, I mean, Arrow with a slick one and Logs to bump Siki out of the way.
Arrow grabs that ball one time on the defense, and keeps that ball in the Arrow the whole way back down to the goal. And I am not apologizing for that punt.
Okay. I thought I heard that, and I kind of just wanted to go past it if I could. Kind of just ignore it, but clearly I could not. Because you just wanted to take claim for that. As, wow. Logs is just really stepping up the pressure. And all of HCC, it feels like, just wants to end this one. I don't know what's going on all of a sudden with UoNA defense, but HCC is cleaving through it like no remorse.
Yeah, you know, it's almost looking like that one game loss we saw there in game 4 a moment ago might have just been a fluke, because HCC is coming out so strong in this game 4. I mean, 3 already. Oh, what? Did I speak too soon, though? Noble just barely making the save. And you can see that UoNA is definitely trying to step up their offensive game here. Kev with a challenge, trying to make another one, but this one's not quite going to connect. Arrow does have it off the wall. Looking for this setup. Can he make it? Not quite. It's going to have to be Logs sending it back down the field instead. Noble in position to make the goal. But UoNA just staying one step ahead on the defense for now.
Yeah. So far, UoNA is trying to salvage this one back up. Couple missed aerials and a couple of denied plays on the offense, though, are going to be struggles for them to get past, as HCC is just not letting up this pressure. They're continuing to try and just keep up whatever limited pressure they have, and they are making great work. I know we keep saying that it feels like UoNA has just offensive control in this game, and it still does. But that's because the score is still 4-0 in favor of HCC now with that goal for Noble, just because with their limited opportunities, HCC is doing so much on offense. At least Siki will deny the shutout here and hopefully start something up for his team. But, I mean, still, 4-1 even if you have half the match to go, is quite the deficit you have to come back from.
Yeah, and at this point, 4 games in, 5 points into game four, I feel comfortable saying that a huge factor for HEC in this match is just plain old air superiority. I mean, whenever that ball is way up high, 9 times out of 10, it is HCC sending that shot back down arrow or logs and trees up there, either taking a shot or sending it right down to someone on the ground with a great angle on goal. And that kind of aerial play, that kind of dominance over the upper half elevation wise of the stadium is difficult to combat defensively.
Yeah, really tough to beat out as last 2 minutes of play, we've eclipsed the halfway mark. And HCC,
Oh,
wow!
what
What
a
a shot
what
from
a
Arrow there.
look at this replay,
Oh my
right?
lord.
Arrow had to pinch that off of Sicky's tires to get that angle. Absolutely savage
What?
shot.
Like, what? That's insane. I,
Uh,
man,
man.
I'm in awe.
Okay, UoNA trying to strike back though. Look at these that slow bounce up into the goal. I mean, that ball changed direction so many times. That's a bamboozler for sure. But HCC not to be bamboozled here. Still able to make the save, regain control of the ball, look right back up the wall. They're deliberately playing this air game. Anytime they're able to get possession, they're taking that ball up as high as they can. Like, all right, we know we're doing better as far as the control of the ball goes up here. We're gonna make you come up here after us.
Yeah, continuing the pressure. At least Kev is going to start to try their best and relieve some of that pressure and really make things work. But we'll get to see here as a minute 20 left in this one. It is UoNA's last hope without or to avoid the losers bracket. If I can take a quick look really fast, actually, I will not. I don't have the link pulled up, so we'll focus back on the game. But
Oh,
still,
Sicky's going with it, but it gets
yeah.
ripped off of him by logs and trees. Discreet taking over possession, but not able to make a play with it. That slip up actually costing the goal.
Yeah,
Discreet had control there and just pushed it just a little bit too far. Noble able to not only challenge the play there, but take possession of the ball and send it right in. I mean, that's there was very little time to make that opportunity work.
I love the little water drip of the goal explosion there.
It
As
sounds so nice.
it sounds so nice, especially when it's like the little toe tap in. As another little toe tap. I think no, Kev just put that
As
one in from midfield. Actually, all the way on down. No one else touched it, and it kind of just rolls on in. So
yeah.
UoNA is not out of this one by any means, as we've seen a good chunk of goals in a row here.
That is that offensive pressure does sometimes have one fatal flaw in it. That's if you overstep that pressure just a little bit, you overcommit, and then a good clear can turn into a goal from the defensive side of the field really fast. But at this point, Howard Community College is 3 points up with 30 seconds left in the game. I don't think they're particularly worried about it.
Yeah, it is looking comfortable here with this lead. Less than 10 seconds a goal, less than 5 seconds a goal here is what you can take if you are UoNA. And HCC is not pushing any speed, needing to really, they're not putting pedal to the metal to score more goals. They are just aiming to control this ball just as they have all game, keeping it off and out of the hands of UoNA. And with that one going far and away, HCC will take the rematch 3-1. A cute little synchronized jump and spout backwards there from the
That
side of HCC is wow. Just dominance on the board from all of them. They are in control of this one. 6-3 is our last game score. As they go 3-1. It will be UoNA facing off against ODU Blue here in the losers matchup. On the other side of things, too, GMU beat Shenandoah 3-0. So That little scoreline we were talking about before, a team coming out of this one 3-0 is a bit of a scary sight.